but I didn't think I had set my kids up to pay the price that they wound up paying because of me. And it killed me. It killed me. The reason, you know, this stupid video that is out there of me, of Shelter Island, where these three guys, they make it look like it one, but it was three, coming at me about calling me Fredo. Here's what bothered me about that. One, and I'm sure you can agree with this, in front of your 9-year-old daughter, somebody calls you something that is offensive to you as an Assyrian Armenian, okay? They say it to your daughter, okay? Now you tell me if all that follows is a conversation. So first of all, they leave that part out. The media left it out. Why? Didn't serve their purpose. Yeah. They wanted me to be a big Italian hothead, you know, muscle man who wanted to beat up this one little guy. It was three good-sized guys who stopped a 9-year-old girl and said, hey, you think Fredo will take a picture with us? Now, she didn't know what they were saying.
Yeah, the edited narrative strikes again.
But I then talked to them. Yeah, I was cursing, and I knew he had the camera out. I'm not a fool, you know. But I didn't care because I thought the point mattered. And I'll tell you something. A couple years later...
Rob, can you pull up the video just
so
some people can see what it was a couple years later?
I'm at a restaurant, and I see this young woman looking at me kind of weird. I kind of look over, look back. I'm with a buddy of mine. And all of a sudden, I see this guy standing next to her, which is one of these guys.
One of the three.
And he comes over and he's like, hey, I just want to say I'm really sorry about that. I didn't know it was going to go that way. I didn't know that. I didn't really recognize him at the time, but then I did. And I shook his hand and I said, you know what? You don't have to apologize. The situation was ultimately on me. I'm the adult. I'm the TV guy. I should have known what was going to happen, but I just didn't give a shit because at some point there has to be decency. And people will say, you're talking about decency. You were threatened about, you know the difference between me saying I'm going to do something to you and me doing it. That is a grace, okay? That I'm going to tell you what I should do to you, but I'm not doing it. That is a grace, okay? And I thought it was an accommodation. I was actually proud of myself. I actually called CNN and told them that this happened right after it because I was like, but I didn't touch anybody. I didn't touch anybody. One of the guys put his hand on me and I said, I'm telling you, take your hand off me. And I gave him the warning. He took the warning. But I understand why it blew up in my face, especially when the former president decided to weaponize it and use it against me as if I was the threat, not him. But in context, the kid, saying it to the kid is just too much for me.
You're saying this, Rob. If you can go, just show 5 seconds of it. Just show 5 seconds of it, whatever, with a little bit of audio. Ilana, if we can go to
You don't see my daughter.
Yeah.
You don't hear the part where I say you say that to a 9-year-old.
I thought that's who you were.
No, punk ass bitches from the right call me Fredo.
Yeah.
My name is Chris Cuomo.
And he said, I thought that's who you are. You thought my name was Fredo?
Yeah. So you can pause this. So we're in the back. Let me tell you what's going on in the back. So we're going through all the stories. Are we bringing this up? Are we bringing that up? What's the last thing I said? What did we talk about at the end?
You're like, yeah, I don't want to bring it up.
I don't care about bringing this up. Okay. So you brought it up, but let me tell you what I did say. I say, you know, somebody, and you asked the question, I think, so Pat, if somebody comes and says to you, what would you say? I said, dude, probably a very similar reaction if you're going to try to do something with my family. But believe it or not, this did nothing for me. I think Trump's just an opportunist. He saw it, boom, capitalized, run with it.
And what Trump wasn't my problem. Look, I have known the former president most of my adult life.
Sure.
My mother and his mother went to the same beauty parlor. Okay.
Wow. Matilda, your mom.
Yeah. And it's the idea that I have a personal animus towards the former president is just simply untrue. I don't like that he made me a personal target because it affected my kids and I live in a Trumpy place. So I didn't need that. He could just judge the work. I always had him on. I always offered him interviews. People would hate me for giving him the opportunity.
He would come to you.
He did for a while, and then he did. And that's okay also. He would continue to contact me after that, complaining about CNN or whatever it was, and I would be a fair broker to him to tell him why it was and who it was. I would have his supporters on. I was the only show at CNN, or certainly the show at CNN the most, who had on Trump supporters. Always. And I've done it at News Nation also, because I believe in more dialogue, not less. I believe that if you have an idea that I don't like, I don't censor your idea. Make the case. Let me test the case. Try to disagree with decency. Don't let it get personal. And if you make it personal, call out that you're making it, now you're making it personal. And that's a sign of a weak argument. And I've always done that. So I don't have a personal animus against him. I'm not surprised he did that. That was the right play. They're saying that you're a tough guy and that you're making people angry. Look at your boy. I get the play. What I didn't like was that my brothers and sisters in the media ignored the context and allowed me to be displayed as something that I'm really not. But look, that's the price. You want to be in the media, this is the price. Don't complain. So I didn't complain.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.